give the ball to your striker.
Why Mane was there? Why Firmino was there? He has never changed his playing style.
But that is with
Salah
a different
is a
coach.
selfish player.
A lot is going on in Anfield. Of course, results not going their way is making the headlines. But even more, Mohamed Salah with outrageous comments about being dropped for 2 consecutive matches. Ahead of the game this weekend, we'll look at, of course, what Salah had to say and definitely matches to look forward to. We'll get predictions to you as well. Yes, a fresh edition of the Nutmeg here on GuardianTV. I am Ayomide Daniels. Yes, you're welcome to a fresh edition of the show. I'm joined by my usual supporters on the show, Kay and Hogan. Great to have you guys on the show. We have an interesting debate today to talk about, and that's concerning African football legend Mohamed Salah, who, of course, is suggesting that he's being sidelined for a reason. And he's made a lot of interesting comments alluding to his time and him being the most efficient player in terms of goals. He's saying perhaps even Harry Kane has not done better than him. He's tried to suggest that. Also, he's tried to suggest that, you know, the club's inside Liverpool, somebody is trying to kick him out. And even now, you know, things are just looking messy for Liverpool after what Salah has done. But I don't know what you make of the situation. Let's just start from there.
Yeah, well, I feel he has every right to be angry, you know. Like you said, he has made his mark on Liverpool. You know, Liverpool's history will not be told to future generations without mentioning Salah at some point. So I feel like at some point between the line, the management at Anfield have, let me say, to a reasonable extent, don't be below par from what I expected from them. There's a better way to, you know, resolve issues. If we have, let's say, on-field matters, you have better options now. They really invested in the squad. It's just not yielding yet. You know, you've got how much they spend on Florian Wirtz, on Isak and all likes.
Yeah.
Those are record-breaking.
We're definitely going to come to that, but let me come to Hogan briefly. So the thing here now, Hogan, is we have Salah, clearly a legend of Liverpool, has helped them to 2 trophies, 2 Premier League titles. They never achieved that in their history, by the way. Now Salah has achieved that. Is he well within his right to speak in the manner that he has spoken? Or do you think, well, he should have just kept it professional, or probably, you know, more inside the club, like internal rather than external?
Yes, you know, this usually come out among footballers who had made a mark in football or in a particular team. I remember something like this similarly happening with Cristiano Ronaldo
and Eric Ten Hag, yeah.
You know, so it's happening again, and this time it's Liverpool and Salah. I believe that there are better ways to go about things. It could have been more professional enough. I remember probably last 2 seasons ago, Salah had a breakout with Jurgen Klopp on the sideline. You know, I think he was benched for some games or for that particular game, and they were playing against a team, I think either West Ham or so, and they had 2-2. It was 2-2 draw, and it was called in. You know, your coach feels like, oh, this is the time for me to bring you in, and he started having this conversation. I felt he had left Liverpool by that time, but he was professional enough not to speak to the media.
So the question now is, what could prompt him to totally lose his guard? I mean, because what's clear now is the relationship is quite broken with Arne Slot, and even with the club, because, you know, it's also been confirmed he will not be in the squad for the European match against Inter Milan in midweek.
Well, I don't think his relationship with Arne Slot is what is broken, because he made mention of that in his comments, that he has a good relationship with Slot. But he feels like there's some hierarchy in the club that feels like they don't need him in the team.
But
right
Slot is not starting him. I mean, for 2 consecutive games. Never happened before since his time in Liverpool.
The coach knows which player best suits the team.
And you think Salah is not?
To be sincere,
he could have done that.
To be sincere.
No, that's where you draw the line, because, you know, like you're trying to say, some of the new imports into the team have not exactly performed. Alexander Isak, 125 million.
All the investment
exactly.
not yielded.
It's not yielded.
They were trying to, you know.
It's not like Isak has done well or Florian Wirtz has done anything spectacular.
From what we have on ground, judging from last season, I think he still deserves, at least, even if he's not starting again, he should be playing some minutes. But this time around, he's not even having the minutes.
I think that was 2 games ago that he did not add a minute in
He
the
has
but he
played-
had come in as a substitute.
No, if you
Now the thing there is that immediately this information broke out and Salah came out to the media to make this statement. Some videos were popping up on social media, on X most especially, showing clips where Salah should have released the ball to the likes of this Flambert, Isaac, and they should have scored a goal.
I think
he was being.
I think you will agree with me that this has always been Salah. Why
Yes,
Mane was there? Why Firmino was there? He has never changed his playing
But
style.
that is with a
Salah
different
is
coach.
a selfish player. I would say it categorically.
Yes, with a different coach.
They
But with
shouldn't
slots.
expect any better.
You know why.
Right now, I want you to actually give the ball to your striker.
But you know why for me this is a very peculiar situation. It's because in the past Salah has proven himself. There's also another side to the argument that says, okay, he's 33 years old now, does not have the same legs anymore, and all that, and so that's why he deserves to be on the bench. But really, is there any footballing consideration as to why Mohamed Salah in this current Liverpool team should not feature?
I think it's a no. I think it's a no. Footballing wise, I think it's a no.
Because let me ask you straight questions. Let me ask you straight questions. Who can replace the numbers that Mohamed Salah brings?
No.
Does Ugo Ekitike does maybe, but you know he's just starting. Alexander Isak has been a no-show.
Sorry, who can replace Mohamed Salah numbers previously? Presently, Mohamed Salah
okay.
does not have the numbers.
So who does
Because
better
he
than
was
him?
not
He
given
has
the
the
chance.
number.
No. Wait,
Ekitike came
you will not
into
compare.
Liverpool's
You will
team.
not compare
No.
Ekitike with Mohamed Salah.
With
They are
records.
not playing
Based
the
on
same.
records.
They are not.
Based on
They
records.
are not the same position.
Based on records,
He's a
you
winger.
can't replace him. But presently, as we speak, Ekitike came into that Liverpool team and hit the ground running.
He's a striker. That's what I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Salah has never been a striker.
but do you-
That's what I'm saying. He has nothing to
There's
come.
never been a striker in Liverpool playing with Salah that actually gave the records compared to Salah. They didn't score goals.
I know what you're saying.
Like
But
Salah
what I'm
did.
saying is,
Firmino,
Ekitike's
Diaz,
position shouldn't have affected Salah's.
Yes. There was no reason why it should have affected Salah. But as a team, as a coach, you feel like right now, what I need is not just, yes, we say footballing wise, skills and all, but there is more to this for a team to grow.
But you know,
Character-wise.
let's even look back to the last game against Leeds United. At some point, they looked very comfortable, and then they
2-0
scored
and then
scored goals,
it was 2-2.
but then they couldn't keep.
Without Salah.
Of course, on the bench.
Fine, fair, but they couldn't keep the lead.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it shows you there are more problems in the team.
That's another factor we need
So
to
the
look
question
at.
now is, without Salah, are they winning?
Without
You
him,
didn't
it's
win
still the
him.
same.
You couldn't defeat Leeds United
With Salah,
without Salah.
With Salah, previously, 7 games before now, with Salah, did they win?
So Hogan, are you saying Salah is the problem?
So Salah is not.
I am not saying Salah is actually the problem, the major problem, but he must have contributed.
He's not the
one
major
way.
problem, but it's a problem.
Yes, the whole team is a problem. Even an slot is
So
a
why-
problem.
if the whole team is a problem,
If is a problem.
Hogan, if the whole team is a problem, why are you not trying to solve the whole team? Why are you trying to
Put it on someone.
put it on
It's
someone?
not.
I do not feel like the whole problem is placed on Salah. Let's look at it this way. Chiesa was signed to Liverpool, and Chiesa for a particular period of time was not playing.
Injuries, yeah.
Was not injured. He was sitting on the bench. It was being. They were not even bringing him.
No.
bringing
He
him
had a
in.
nasty injury.
I'm coming.
He
That-
was recuperating.
No, that was
Yes,
previous
that season before. He
I'm
has
talking
not-
about this season.
No,
This
he's just
season,
coming up.
Chiesa was not placed in Champions League squad. Are we aware?
Well then.
Did he come out to say,
sorry,
Guys,
Hogan.
guys,
I
it's
wouldn't compare-
it's quite clear where both of you stand in the divide. But just before we leave, because we have to wrap up this show now, we have very, very important fixtures to look forward to this weekend. Liverpool obviously will host Brighton, most certainly without Mohamed Salah in the starting lineup, at least, even if he gets back to the squad. We'll have to wait and see about that. Arsenal, they lost their last game against Aston Villa, but they will host Wolverhampton Wanderers this time around. Chelsea are at home to Everton, and Manchester City are somewhat looking the part. They'll travel away for a very, very difficult fixture against Crystal Palace. So how are we seeing these games going this weekend?
Well, let me just pick up from the Chelsea game. I knew Chelsea were not going to win Bournemouth, but that is gone. Like Hogan said previously, that Chelsea are neither here or there, and it's already showing up now. So for the game against, what's it called now? They'll be playing
Everton.
Everton, a tricky one. Everton has, you know, I think they've upped their game a little bit towards the.
Do you think you can upset Chelsea at home?
Very possible.
You think so
Very
too?
possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move away from Chelsea now to Crystal Palace up against Man City. Crystal Palace, by the way, they don't need any introduction. They are a very, very serious team in the Premier League. Mind you, there's context to this. Crystal Palace beat Manchester City in the FA Cup last time out. So this is a grudge game as well. But Hogan, how do you see this one going?
Well, definitely, it's like I always say, it's a game of 90 minutes.
I know, right?
Yes, 90 minutes
Plus.
the game. 90 minutes plus. Yeah. But actually, Man City too has also been, you know, here and there, ups and down. Crystal Palace also, they lost 2 games ago to Manchester United, and they came back, they bounced back.
And that was at home, by the way.
Yeah, so, and now it's their home again. So who says they can't lose to Manchester City?
They can.
Also.
Hogan, do you think that Man City are perhaps the strongest challenger to Arsenal's title race?
No, I don't think so.
So who do you think that is?
Not known yet until February.
Until February. I like that you put a date. By the way, it's just 2 points between Man City and Arsenal at this point. We've talked about Liverpool, we've talked about Chelsea, we've talked about Man City, and now Arsenal, definitely. It doesn't get easier than Wolves, perhaps. Wolves have been woeful. I'll be very surprised if Wolves can pick up a result of any form against Arsenal.
I don't think so. Ever Aston Villa, the last game, of course, we are bound to have issues at some point. You know, the team is beginning to have issues. I mean, with injuries and the likes. But of course, it happens. You don't always win all the matches. And
yeah.
Comparatively, if you look at Unai Emery, he's always been a thorn in the flesh of Arsenal. So I expected a very tough game before, like we said.
But we are defeating Wolves, right?
We should have this.
All right.
Well, I feel like you can't write off any team in
the Premier League.
No, of course, obviously.
Though we expect that Arsenal should make a bounce back to winning runs,
but
anything can happen. Wolves can decide that
not on the next game, not on the next
draw the match.
We'll see how that goes. But it's been a very, very heated debate about Mohamed Salah. Let's know your thoughts about Salah's situation at Liverpool and what his future should be. Also, we predicted some games games involving Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Manchester City. Let us know your predictions in those games as well. Thank you very much for watching this edition of the Nutmeg. You can be part of the community by hitting the subscribe button and tapping the notification bells to get all our latest content. Most certainly, it's been a pleasure having you guys, Kay and Hogan. Thank you very, very much.
Always a pleasure.
And don't forget, you could also follow us on social media. We're at Guardian Nigeria on all platforms. My name is Ayomide Daniels. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.